Gao. Here I have my presentation for Capstone Midterm. My project is to explore a sentient space which takes an artificial life approach towards interactive architecture. Before the peer review session, I have come up with two potential forms of the sentient space I'm creating. As you can see from the sketch, one has the impression of an architectural entity while the other consists of multiple agents in the space. Ever since the peer review, I have had several experiments with materials, forms, and motions, and in the end, I chose to go with the agents one. So based on this choice, I then refined my main concept to better explain the objective of my project. That is to create a series of intelligent architectural agents that demonstrate an evolving understanding towards the visitor's presence through self-reconfiguration in its behavior both individually and collectively. So the project takes its focus on the agent's forms, behaviors, and system of control. From that, I proceeded to ideate and design the specific forms and behaviors of the agents, which I have also come up with two versions, and I'm gonna explain each one of them and how my exploration with both versions have informed my next step. So the first version is called column of senses, which is a column of disks that represents intelligent architectural agents in a built environment. Each of the disks senses the change of presence of its surrounding and responded to it with rotation and signalized in individual manner. Altogether, these agents form a sentient space that is able to possess an evolving understanding towards its visitors as well as its surroundings. So the left sketch is how I envision to have the installation in the space, and the right one shows how the agent is going to behave individually as a disk or collectively as a column. The sensor I'm planning to use for the sensing system on the agent is ultrasonic sensor, which senses the distance between the column and its surround and human presence. By observing and following the change of presence in its surroundings, the agents demonstrate an ongoing, unpredictable thinking process of an artificial being and thus constitute intriguing as well as involving interactions between the agents and its visitors, and even like they can among the agents themselves, like shown in the third sketch. However, the behavior for that is still uncertain yet, which is also like an interesting point to explore with my project. All of this will be achieved through a control system based on cybernetic theory to allow for the ever-changing behavior and experience for both the columns and the visitors. I took my first step in studying the mechanism and prototyping the structures. The outcome I have for now has not been powered with any electronics yet, as the engineering part of the structure still needs to be refined to work with power properly. So this demonstration of behavior achieved with like manual control to test if it can work with the basic engineering mechanism. To demonstrate the interaction between the agents and an individual visitor, you can see from the clip that how each disk is noticing the visitors, but in its own manner with response, and together they form kind of like a personality of the entity. The second version of the project is a moody series, which is constituted by tentacle-like kinetic structures hanging from the ceiling like an extension of the architectural presence in a built environment. The tentacles respond to human presence with light and current-up movements. Each of the agents behaves to demand attention from the visitors and demonstrates different emotional status according to its interaction with visitors. Also, the agent is also able to show the communication among themselves through multiple sensory input and its behaviors. Here are some examples I made to demonstrate the different behaviors of the agents under different circumstances with light, colors, and current and movement. For example, if it gets the attention it wants, it will be aware and current up with the white lights, while if it lost attention from the visitors, it will be upset and showing red lights and kind of aggressive movements. And if it doesn't have attention for a long time, it may be going to some despondent mood, like mental states, and become blue. With more of this like kinetic sculpture in the space, I hope it will give the space capability to sense and express their feelings. So moving on from this stage, firstly, as I have presented, I have two versions of the projects now, and each of which can be potentially developed into an individual project, which means that the first thing I need to do is to finalize and settle down on one version and proceed to detailed production. As the main issue I have right now is the engineering difficulties of the mechanism. So I'm planning on take the week 7 to 8, which the coming week after this presentation, to research prototype and make some tests of the mechanism to choose which version to go with. After that, I will start with one agent to build the structure, install the sensors and the lights, and improve the mechanism if necessary. The following 2 weeks will be mainly focused on programming the behaviors of the agents, how the programming will be applied to multiple agents, and how the outcome will be modified. The last 2 weeks will be adjustment of the control system and a mass production of the agents. As I plan to build as many as I want, it's necessary to have certain amount of time for just producing the structures. After that, it will be the final installation of the structure into space where I will present my project in the IMA show. So basically, this is my midterm presentation for my Capstone project. Please let me know if you have any feedback. Thank you.